Hare Krishna Mataji. This actually, I'm sharing this live so that in the YouTube, you people can see those slides and read those commentaries if needed. So that's how I thought the recording may help, because not everybody has the book.
Okay, Mataji.
Just that my YouTube is going round and round. So I'll wait for it to catch up with our pace. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Pashyatya Deshatarine Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome everybody to our day 4 of reading from Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Is everybody able to see the screen? Yes, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Okay, so we finished the chapter 1 on the earth planet. We saw how the Avanti Brahman, and he directed to the Divya in heaven. How he directed to the South Indian Brahman, South Indian king, and from South Indian king, we went on to King Indra to Brahma, and then from Brahma to Lord Shiva, now we are coming to Prahlad Maharaj. That's chapter 4. So Shri Gaurangi Mataji, you want to start? So let me, are you there? Okay, she has not joined yet. Amrita Nandini Mataji, would you like to start?
Yes, Mataji.
Please go ahead.
Sri
Shri
Parikshit
Parikshit.
said, after the sage Narada heard Lord Shiva's words, which impressed him as most amazing, he was eager to see Prahlad in person. He at once therefore travelled to Sri Sutal by the path of heart and entered running into the city of the demons.
Here it is said, the path of heart. Yeah, please read that. Can you
the path of heart, Narada travel is the mind itself. In other words, as soon as he desired, I want to go to Sutal, he at once arrived.
How wonderful. He just thought and he's there. Okay. Shri Gaurangi Mataji, would you like to read next?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Sorry for joining a little late. Prahlad, the best of Vaishnava, was in a secluded place, absorbed in loving meditation on the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Seeing the Brahmana Narad approaching from a distance, Prahlad quickly stood up and then offered prostrate obeisances as Narad came close.
Jai. Archana Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, all Mataji. Dhanyavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
With some effort,
We can't hear you, Mataji. Sorry.
can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanyavad Pranams. With some effort, Prahlada induced Narada to accept a seat and then began, like others before, to worship him in accordance with standard rules. But Narada, feeling great reverence for Prahlada, refused the worship. He shed tears of joy and tried to embrace Prahlada. Then he spoke as follows.
Jai. Gayatri Mataji, would you like to read next?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, all the Matajis. Dandvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Ritu Mataji, Jai. Thank you for joining.
Mataji, today, by mercy of God, I am in home. So that's why I catch up that class today.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Sri Narada said, "Now, after so long, I have finally seen you, the true recipient of Krishna's full mercy. Now my efforts have borne fruit, borne fruit. From your very childhood, you have been endowed with pure devotion for Krishna. Such spontaneous love has never been seen anywhere before."
I highlighted this because for every kid, we always want our kid to be like Prahlad. So from their very childhood, I just love that part. Anita Mataji, would you like to go next?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
By
Krishna.
virtue of that pure devotion, you overcame terrible obstacles, the thousands of outrages your father committed against you. And by your influence, all the demons became Vaishnavas.
Jai. Next is Vandanam, Aricha Mataji.
While immersed in meditation on Krishna, you seemed to forget your own existence. Like a madman, you danced and sang and called out loudly, your body trembling. In this way, you spread devotional service unto Lord Vishnu, delivering all the worlds from the cycle of material life and filling them with
Joy. Yes.
Joy.
Mataji, yeah, please go next. Vandana Mataji, are you there? I just saying from the old list, so I don't know if who is here.
Can I read, Mataji?
Ritu Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji, I am here.
Okay, go ahead and read, Mataji.
When Lord Krishna appeared on the shore of the ocean, he placed you on his lap and created you like a mother. Thus, he honored your ignored Brahma, Shiva, and the other demigod, offering prayers and even ignored the goddess Padma.
Thank you. Vasantrasa Mataji, can you please read next?
Mataji, she's not there.
She's not there. She's
No,
there.
yeah. Oh, Mataji changed her name. Sorry, sorry, Mataji.
Brahma terrified begged you to approach Sri Nisimha. And when you fell at the Lord's divine lotus feet, the Lord stood up and raised you from the ground. He put his lotus hand upon your head and began to lick your entire body.
Can you just visualize this? How
Exactly.
he was licking like that, how that lion will lick the cub.
Yeah.
Loved this part too.
Mataji, can I ask you a question? Sorry to interrupt this.
Yes.
Mataji, Narada is the guru for Prahlad, right, Mataji?
Yes. Yes. And now you will see how Prahlad will answer. You are my guru. Why are you saying all this? He will say now next exactly.
Okay.
And he will say, whatever devotion I have, it's because of your blessing. Nothing of
He
my
had
own.
full knowledge, right, Mataji? Why he is
Yes.
going here and there? I am still confused. Why it is happening?
That is the what you call, Mataji, the madness in prema rasa. In one way, you can take it as he's trying to show the world to us by going everywhere that he's proving who is that highest devotee who got the mercy of Krishna. We can take it in one way. Another way is Nava Nava Yavanamcha, like how the Lord's pastimes are always new and new and newer, like the same Bhagavad Gita, same Krishna's pastime, same thing, but every time we hear it is so wonderful. So the taste depends on our devotional level. Otherwise, we say, oh, I have heard this many times because our taste is not developed. So Narad Muni just tastes so much nectar knowing this, even though he already knows. So the next part too, Gopakumar does not know anything and he starts his journey. You can also see how Krishna brings him to Goloka and how ecstasy he feels. He gives the same, the desire to know the Lord is what is the qualification needed. Not either we are a Siddha Purusha or a simple person. So that is what this Brihad Bhagavatamrita explains by taking Narad Muni, who is so exalted, and Gopakumar, who is totally new. So both show us that part.
Just to engage ourselves again and again into...
Yes. Yes, Mataji. How to engage us again and again. That's the answer. So Ashwini Mataji, would you like to go next? Is she there? I'm sorry, I'm just calling from yesterday's list.
No.
No. Okay. Neeru Mataji, is she there?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Neeru.
Mataji.
Yeah.
When Lord Hari, right?
Yes.
When Lord Hari, with most attractive and clever enticements, tried to offer you the supreme abode, you showed no interest in liberation, which is prayed for by Brahma and by everyone else. Rather, you asked only devotion to the Lord, birth after birth.
So these points are telling us what we should actually ask, even if the Lord is going to come in front of us. So we are getting trained through all of them. Priya Madhavi Mataji, are you there? Is she there?
No.
No. Who else is there today? Radhika
Oh,
Gopi.
Yes, Mataji, I'm there. I'll read.
Okay. Go
Hare
ahead.
Krishna. Responding to your Lord's love, you agreed to assume your father's throne. And as you told Lord Narsimha in your prayers, by doing this you wish to help deliver all people. You are still on that royal seat, fixed in meditation on Lord Narsimha.
And do read this highlighted part too, please.
Yes, Mataji. He intended to use the vast wealth of Hiranyakashipu's kingdom for preaching. If he could arrange for the deliverance of everyone in the universe, Prahlad calculated that might satisfy the Lord.
So here is what is the Jiva Daya. What a Vaishnava should have is Jiva Daya, and that is shown by Prahlad Maharaj. And we have Vasudeva Datta, who is Prahlad's incarnation in Chaitanya Charitamrita, who said, please liberate the whole universe. So let me suffer here, stay back and suffer for everyone. So that understanding that satisfies the Lord. That's how they ask boons. So yeah, very nice. Has anyone not read yet? Anybody? Yes, please. Yes, please. Gayatri Priya Mataji. Can you see those translation in bold? You can read that.
Yeah. You once went to the Naimisha forest to have darshan of Narayana, who is known as the Lord in yellow dress, while on the road you satisfy the Lord in combat, and he told you, "Yes, I'm always conquered by you."
Oh, this quickly I'll tell you. He went after ruling for some time. Prahlad wanted to go and see the Lord. It's called Lord in yellow dress. He's called Pitavasa in Sanskrit, like the one who puts on yellow dress, literally. So he goes to see the Lord. On the way, the Lord tricks him. He puts on a shabby clothes and he comes like a warrior. And Prahlad actually fights with him. And he's fighting, and he cannot win. For so many days, he's fighting and fighting, but he's not able to win. At the end, he realizes that that the Lord that he's worshiping is in front of him, and he feels so ashamed. And he says, "My Lord, what is this I have done? That I have come to have your darshan, and I couldn't identify you, and I'm fighting with you." And at the end, he says that, "But you know, Kshatriya dharma is that I have to win." But I'm not able to win you. in talking, he says. And the Lord says, "You have already won me. Always you win me. Like, yes, I am always conquered by you, by your love." So that is that conversation here. Since this is a new pastime, I thought I'll share.
yeah.
This is very sweet.
This pastime,
Yes.
we've never. I don't remember. Have we read it somewhere else also?
No. This is in some new Purana here, Vamana Purana here, it is said. So I thought I should mention trip and all that. Yeah. It's a new Purana which nobody else has mentioned in any of their talks. Anyone else who did not have a chance to read? Everyone has read. Okay. Sri Parikshit continued. Having said this, Narada, the ocean of ecstasies in devotion to Lord Hari, began to dance. That intimate servant of the Lord shouted, "Conquered by us, conquered by us." The words Jitam Asma Bihi, conquered by us, imply that Narada claimed victory not just for himself and Prahlad, but for all the devotees of Lord Narayana. How nice, right? This word is the Lord is conquered by us and he's dancing. So who started the call today? Amrita Nandini Mataji, would you like to continue?
Sri Narada then said, O best of Vaishnavas,
Huh?
why should I say that Lord Mukunda has been conquered only by you? Your grandson Bali, chief of the Daityas, has also conquered him. By your grace, Bali keeps the Lord as his doorman.
So now Narad Muni is trying to say that why you say not just you, even Bali he is conquered. But now let's see what Prahlad answers. Who was next? Archana Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please go ahead.
From now on, I intend to stay here permanently with you. By your power, I shall certainly be able to overcome the curses I received from Daksha and others.
By your power. So he's trying to say that it's not by me. So what's it next, Sri Gaurangi Mataji?
Yeah. Sri Parikshit said, unable to tolerate hearing his own praise, Prahlad lowered his face in embarrassment, bowed down before Narad, and respectfully addressed him in a quiet voice.
Everyone did this right out of embarrassment. They put their head down.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Gayatri Mataji, please go ahead.
Prahlada said, My Lord and spiritual master, please reconsider everything you have said. A young boy simply cannot understand correctly the science of devotional service to Krishna.
Lord Shiva got angry, Brahma got angry, but here since Prahlad is a disciple, see how he's saying very nicely because he's a spiritual master. My Lord and spiritual master, please reconsider. So the language is very sweet how he's conversing with Narad Muni. Anita Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Still, when one receives instructions from great souls, those instructions have the power to awaken one's higher understanding, and then one can engage in devotional service to Lord Hari. Therefore, it is not a sign of greatness that ordinary persons like me can preserve despite the terrible disturbances. Give spiritual enlightenment to children, behave like saintly persons, show compassion to suffering souls, or refuse the boon of liberation.
Yeah, please read this part too.
Thus, he
Ascribes.
ascribes all his spiritual assets to the mercy of Narada, who blessed him with transcendental knowledge and guided him on the proper path of devotional service.
This is so sweet. Richa Mataji?
Sure, Mataji. Merely from these symptoms, the best of saints do not conclude that Krishna has given a person his mercy. Krishna's mercy, blessed Narada, appears only in a truly worthy servant.
Yeah. Ritu Mataji, so you remember that you're next to Richa Mataji. So
Yes, Mataji, and I have never performed any real service for the Lord like Hanuman and other. I have only remembered the Lord sometime when my mind was troubled.
So now comes Hanumanji next. So that is the hint here. Could you also read this part, Mataji, Ritu Mataji? The highlighted one.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Yeah.
Prahlada answered this by characterizing himself as distributed by material excites, a condition that author automatically disqualified him from Namo
Namasmarana, Rupa Smarana, and Leela Smarana.
Namasmarnam, Rupasmarna, and Leela Smarnaya. Future arrangement is also implied her that remembrance is not the best form of devotional service, since it depends on the function of the mind, which are subject to distraction by anxiety and other emotions. This argument will be elaborated more fully later on in The Glory of Goloka.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Vandana Mataji, she's not there, right? Vasantrasa Mataji.
You praise me because he cares for me and showed other signs of affection, but some consider such affectionate behavior merely a false show of Maya, and others just a display of his pastimes.
So he's trying to refute all that, whatever Narad Muni said, all that, whatever Narsinghdev did was not just because I'm a big devotee. Who was next? Neeru Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. You regard those affectionate displays as natural symptoms of his love, but I consider them no more real than a dream. And even if we accept them as real, they are still not evidence of his mercy.
The point that it says not more real than a dream, because this was very short lived. Like it was just one time that this whole thing happened, and in a blink of eye, Narsinghadev's pastime is over and he's gone. That just happened like a dream. So that's how he's comparing the Lord's putting hand on over his head was just like a dream. Radhika Gopika Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. The Lord truly gives his mercy, saintly authorities believe, when he grants the right to render various kinds of service, a blessing he gives to such devotees as Hanuman.
Okay, Hanuman. Okay, nonetheless,
Not-
nothing
Nothing
else.
else counts as his mercy.
And also this highlight. Yeah.
But when a devotee becomes mature and has realized his eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, the Lord gives opportunities to serve him.
Like if the Lord is giving us a hug, that doesn't mean it is a great benediction. He's making the point clear. If he shows us real mercy, means he will give us opportunity to serve. So how nicely that service is, devotional service is the highest. Prahlad is bringing this up. So Gayatri Priya Mataji. So you can remember that you're after Radhika Gopika. Go ahead.
Furthermore, Sriman Narasimha performed his pastimes not to favor me, but to protect the demigods, his devotees, and deliver to
Of his eternal servants. So that is that
his
Jay and Vijay. So Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, he's saying that he came to relieve them, not just to give me mercy. Mayuri Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. He also wished to uphold the
Could you be a
truth of
little
the
louder?
word.
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you.
Oh, okay. He also wished to uphold the truth of the words of Brahma and of others, such as Brahma's sons, and fully display the greatness of devotional service. These were the only reasons for his pastimes.
Is there anyone else that did not read yet? Okay. So, O greatest of devotees who have nothing material to possess, when the personality of Godhead gave me a kingdom, I understood that I did not receive even one atom of his mercy. Hare Krishna. So, Amrita Nandini Mataji, please continue.
As the Lord says, when I wish to favor someone, I make him lose his opulence. Such statements as these are evidence, and so also are the statements of his exalted devotees.
Jai. Archana Mataji, you have to remember you're next.
Oh, sorry. Just see how my worship of the Lord has been eclipsed by my attachment to ruling my kingdom and by my ties to family members, servants, and others. For not crying over this in remorse, I should be condemned again and again.
Hare Krishna.
Why else would I have fought against the renowned Lord at Vishala, as if I had reverted to the low conditioning of my birth?
Yeah. Anita Mat. Oh, Gayatri Mataji, sorry.
The demons in their teachings are always inclined to bad scholarship about the truth of the self. Because of my association with such demons, even today my understanding is not free from the degraded element of dry speculation.
So that's how again and again that bad association, materialistic association is so harmful. It's being stressed. And he's saying, just because I was born in the demon family, see, my brain is not at all getting straight. He will say more about it. So I don't know what is my situation.
So, how can any pure devotion appear in me that would signify the Lord's mercy? I see proof of my lack of devotion when I ponder the wickedness of Banasura.
This is very fantastic. He's saying my
I-
Banasur was in my family. Bali's son is Banasur.
Mm.
My grandson behaved so badly that he fought against Lord Krishna, and our family deity is Vishnu, and he left the Vishnu's worship and he went and worshipped Shiva. How could he do that? And on top, he fought with Krishna, and this is all because such a bad grandfather I am. He takes the blame. So, here, Prahlad thinks killing Bana would have been better than sparing him. My God. Mataji.
I have heard some say that now, after arresting and imprisoning Bali, the Lord stays here in Sutala as the doorman just to keep him captive. In any case, I cannot say where the Lord is now.
Okay.
On rare occasions, some person like Ravana can see the Lord here. The Lord show himself only when it suits his own purpose. He thus shows himself in this very place to uh, Durvasa, because Durvasa has a strong faith in being able to see the Lord.
Like he's saying that uh, Durvasa wanted to see the Lord. That's how the Lord came. It's not because I am the devotee. That was not the reason why he came. Okay. Vasantra Samataji.
Wherever one develops an intense desire to achieve the Supreme Lord, there one can obtain him. But the Lord's merely residing in a certain place does not grant one his association.
This is very important where that intense desire is needed. And the Lord, even the temple, he's there. But if we don't have that intense desire, then that is of no use, even the Lord is residing in the temple. So that's the point he's trying to make.
If my Lord were always present here in person, why would I have travelled all the way to Naimisharanya to see him as Lord Vidvasa, the yellow-garbed form of Narayana?
Yes.
We can say that by your mercy, the Supreme Lord developed some love for me, and so I appear glorious. But my greatness is just like a tiny speck before the heaps of mercy the Lord bestows on his newer devotees.
Jai. Gayatri Priya Mataji.
Oh, Narada, your heart overflows with causeless compassion. Why should I go on describing all my misfortunes, which simply make you unhappy? Instead, please consider the Lord's mercy on Hanuman of the Kimpurushas.
Here is very nice. Could you read this too? Yeah, the Prahlad thinks.
Prahlada thinks that to continue describing his own misfortune will distress Narada, his spiritual master, thus resulting in Guru Aparada. Narada cannot tolerate unhappiness in anyone, especially his own disciple.
How sweet, right? How sensitive Prahlad is. I just love this disciple spiritual master relationship. Very, very sweet. Who was next? Mayuri Mataji?
Please note, my lord, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared suddenly in his form of Narsimha just to kill my father. And as soon as the Lord fulfilled his purpose, he at once disappeared.
Payal Mataji, would you like to read or you want to hear? Hare Krishna, did anybody else did not get a chance to read?
Sorry, Mataji, I cannot read. Thank you so much.
No problem. Is there anyone else who did not read and I did not call your name? You joined late.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah,
Yes.
I would like to read Mataji.
Yes, please. Yes, 39.
I haven't been able to see my Lord directly whenever I wanted. So when I saw him once on the shore of the ocean, it was just like seeing a dream.
But Hanuman is much more fortunate. For many thousands of years, he has enjoyed serving the Lord constantly without obstruction. So, according to Sri Ramayana, Hanuman stayed with Lord Ramachandra on this earth for more than 11,000 years. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says it's more than 13,000 years. So, he's saying, see how fortunate he is. So, go ahead.
He is the most He is the most powerful person when he was just a child. The demigods favor him with several wonderful benedictions. Thus, he became immune to old age and death.
He is free of all fear. He maintains great vows, and he performs auspicious deeds. Outstanding among heroes, he is an exceptional servant of the Lord of the Raghus.
Jai.
With playful disregard, he jumped across thousands of miles of fathomless ocean. Expertly in the capital of the Rakshasa king, he comforted Mother Sita in her distress.
He boldly threatened his enemies, burned Lanka, and destroyed its citadel. When he brought back news of Sita, he received his master's deep embrace.
It was Hanuman who acted as his lord's best carrier, his tail serving as a royal white umbrella, his broad back a comfortable seat for the Lord, and it was Hanuman who directed the project of bridging the ocean.
He fulfilled the desires of Vibhishana. He destroyed the military force of Rakshasas, and he had the special power to deliver the healing herb called Vishalaya Karani.
He was the very life of his soldiers, always giving great pleasure to his divine lord and the Lord's younger brother Lakshmana. He devotedly served as carrier for them both.
Supremely intelligent and valorous, he brought victory for Lord Ramachandra. He added to the spotless fame of his lord, who killed the king of the Rakshasas.
Neeru Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. It was Hanuman who encouraged Mother Sita, and by the Lord's order, this Hanuman, the one true recipient of his master's favor, still lives in this world, though unable to bear separation from the Lord.
Jai.
He keeps himself alive by constantly hearing the glories of Lord Ram. Staying by the side of the Lord's deity, he is present even today with the same splendor as always.
My dear spiritual master, Hanuman's greatness is well known from scriptural statements like the chief of the monkeys became perfect by acting as a Lord's servant. His servitude is proof of the Lord's mercy.
Wow.
Although
Also,
Hanuman,
sorry.
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, Mataji. Sorry.
Although Hanuman obtained from the son of Dasharatha the boon of liberation without striving for it, never wanted to accept liberation without the opportunity to serve, to that Hanuman I offer my obeisances.
You certainly know glories of his that I haven't mentioned. Why not go to Kim Purusha Varsha, see him yourself, and be enlivened?
Very nice. Sirisha Mataji.
Sri Parikshit said, "Oh dear mother." The sage Narada then jumped up from his seat and flew through the sky to Kimpurusha Varsha, all the while repeating, "How wonderful, how wonderful."
I just love Narad Muni. There in Kim Purusha Varsha, Narada saw Hanuman absorbed in worshipping Lord Ramachandra's lotus feet with varied items from the forest, as if serving the Lord personally as before. This is so beautiful, right? It's not that he has to be or he doesn't have to be, but his mood is like he's seeing the Lord there every other day. Jai. Amritanandini Mataji, please continue.
Listening to the nectarian Ramayana recited by Gandharvas and other celestial singers, Hanuman was in ecstatic. His limbs trembled, tears poured from his eyes, and hair on his body stood on end.
Jai.
He glorified the Lord with various prayers, in prose and verse, most excellent compositions of his own. He also recited prayers composed by others, and he repeatedly offered prostrate obeisances.
Narad cried out in joy, "Glories to you, Sri Raghunath! To the beloved of Sri Janaki, all glories! Glories to the elder brother of Sri Lakshman!"
Jai, Narad Muni is so happy.
Yeah.
Delighted to hear glorified the names of the Lord he worshipped, Hanuman jumped from where he stood and caught hold of Narada by the neck.
This, this actually this actually says delighted to hear glorified the names of the Lord he worshipped. So his
Worship.
focus was on Janaki and Ram when he heard. Please.
Standing in the sky, Narada was overjoyed. With his feet he danced, and with his hands he wiped away the flood of loving tears from the eyes of the Lord of the Monkeys. Sharing Hanuman's unique mood of loving ecstasy, Narada spoke in a loud voice.
This also shows when you come in contact with the senior devotee, you also start feeling that ecstatic symptoms of their love that they are feeling for their Lord. So this is here very evident here in this verse. It's so beautiful.
Sri Narada said, O blessed one, truly you are the dearest devotee of the Lord, Supreme Lord. Today, just by seeing you, I too have become dear to the Lord.
Wow.
Shri Parikshit said, in the blink of an eye, Hanuman became sober and bowed down to show respect to the sages among the demigods. Hanuman greeted him with reverence and brought him to the temple of Lord Ramchandra, the hero of the Raghus, so that Narada could offer obeisances.
This is so nice. Hanuman is still fixed in that worship of Lord Ram, like how he's bringing him to worship Lord Ram, right? How sweet. Jai. Vasantrasa Mataji.
Narada paid respects to the Lord in Hanuman's temple, and Hanuman carefully arranged for Narada to be seated. Narada felt he had now obtained an amazing treasure born from pure love for the Lord. He picked up his veena and spoke.
Oops, sorry, I just went too fast.
Sri Narad said, Yes, you are the greatest recipient of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. No one can compare to you. Ah, you are always immersed in an ocean of ecstatic worship of the Lord, enjoying it as newer and newer at every moment.
You are the Lord's servant, his friend, his carrier, his seat, his flag, his umbrella, his canopy, his fan. You are his bard, his adviser, his doctor, his general, his best helper, the expander of his infinite glories.
Haribol.
Having surrendered yourself entirely to the Lord, having received His highest mercy, having dedicated your life to topics of His transcendental glories, you always increase the bliss of the devotees sheltered by Him. You are the best of saints, greater even than others like Garuda.
Krishna.
It's coming to Garuda now?
No. No. Sirisha Mataji. Mayuri Mataji, I'm sorry.
Indeed, your devotion for the Lord is absolutely pure, for you consider nothing more valuable than the pleasure of serving Him. You delighted all His devotees by speaking to that best of generous lords those words.
The twist is always there. So, Shirisha Mataji.
Even though liberation destroys the bondage of material existence, I have no desire for liberation, in which I would forget that you are the master and I am your servant.
Jai.
I'm just waiting. Where will Hanumanji direct now?
Yes. Priya Madhuri Mataji, do you want to read? Are you able to
Yes,
read?
Mataji. Sri
Yes.
Parikshit said,
Hanuman was now burning in a fire of separation from his master, the Supreme Lord, and the fuel of hearing about the special mercy of the Lord's lotus feet had brought that fire to a blaze. For a while, he cried sorrowfully, and then, calmed by the sage, he spoke.
Sri Hanuman said, O best of sages, why are you doing this to such a wretch devoid of the lotus feet of Sri Ramachandra, Sriman Ramachandra? Why do you make me cry by reminding me of how the Lord has neglected me? Hare Krishna.
If
Amritanandana.
I'm really Lord's servant, then why did he forcibly abandon me when he took with him to his spiritual kingdom his dear devotees, including Sugriva and all the residents of Koshala?
Archana Mataji.
You are very kind to me because I have had the good fortune to engage in his service. You conclude that the Lord has given me his favor.
But now he has descended to Mathurapuri, where he displays the summit of his opulences and powers. All the mercy he has shown me cannot equal even a speck of the mercy he has shown the saintly Pandavas.
You got the answer.
Any more than a molecule of earth can equal Mount Sumeru.
Even this little desire, Lord is satisfying. The answer has to be read by you. You asked the question, so Krishna.
By sending poison and many other calamities, one after another, to trouble the Pandavas from their childhood, the Lord deliberately showed their determination, religion, fame, wisdom, devotion, and ecstatic love.
Hare Krishna.
He acted as their servant, advisor, messenger, charioteer, and court attendant. He kept watch for them at night, followed them on processions, and even offered them praise and obeisances.
Amazing. Oh, amazing.
Out of his affectionate concern for them, what would the Lord not do? He was seen taking the combined roles of their servant, companion, and dearmost friend, and they took the same roles for him.
Wonderful, right? This point. He took that role and they took that same role for him. Wow. Such a deep friendship.
Amazing.
Because the Lord resides constantly with the Pandavas, their capital city has become like a sacred forest where great sages perform austerity, and residing in the city award one the same pious benefit as performing a strenuous act of
Penance.
penance.
Sri Parikshit said, upon hearing these words, Sri Narada became uncontrollably eager to see the lotus feet of Krishna. He simply wanted to go to Dwaraka and live there forever.
Forever.
He stood up, sat down, and stood up again. He danced enthusiastically, filled with an inner joy, and made loud cries.
This is too much of Narada Muni. Ecstatic symptom, how it is arising from him every minute. Stood up, sat down, stood up.
Very nice.
Neeru Mataji, yes, please.
Yes, Mataji.
Neeru Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Are you able to hear me, Mataji?
Yes.
Okay. Hanuman's heart was immersed in transcendental tastes from speaking about the Pandavas. With his ecstasy raised even higher by Narada's dancing, he continued to speak about the topics.
So we will stop here. 80 verses we have read. The next 80 we will go to see the Pandavas tomorrow. So is there any reflections you all have?